Hello, hello, hello. I'm Arcane Warlock, and I'm back with part 2 of Chapter 1. So, let us go into where we left off. Slammed his bony palm into the stain, so also Poplasia gave me access to read the entire story in a narration. Oh god. Don't worry though, there will not be 50 episodes, or 80 for that matter, despite there being 40 chapters. Some of the later chapters will be done in twos, like Karina the Canari's B&H Adventure. You should check that out. Very fun. Oh, you're in a world full of pain with that one. Anyways, let's go. Start off with slammed his bony palm into the stained soul. Frisk was blasted away, skidding to a stop just a few feet away from the floating icons. Wisps of color, red and blue, drifted briefly in the area around the small human before silently disintegrating. They, as in Frisk, pushed themselves upright, disoriented and confused. Kara was caught, trapped as nothing more than a wraith of twisting red light centered around the shattered remnants of their own soul. For a moment they just stared at Sans. This magic wrapped around every shard of the soul, the void, at the icon, at the icons and the icons that seemed to taunt them, and the human child, and at the human child who stared back with wonder and the slightest flicker of rebellious hope. Sans? Frisk held up one hand, then the other, fascinated and disbelieving, unshed tears shimmering into the corners of their eyes. They were stuttering more than Alphys on a bad day. Are you real? Is this real? Yeah, kiddo. Don't worry. I'm here. Yeah, kiddo. Don't worry. I'm here. Frisk tried not to cry, tried to take a shuddering breath. Tried to calm themselves down, but they couldn't stop. They wiped at their eyes in a futile attempt to push the tears away, but they kept coming. The sound of Sans' voice was just so caring, which is kind of weird. Uh, Sans just only doesn't sound like that type of sort to have a caring voice. It's kind of dead. He's kind of okay. So concerned for them, and they didn't deserve it. Didn't deserve forgiveness, not after what they let happen. I'm so sorry, Sam. Kara sneered, parroting Frisk's word under their breath in a high, mocking tone before harshly shouting, "As if he'd ever forgive you!" Skeleton tightened his magical grip, and Kara's ghostly outline flickered, glitching under the strain. I think that, he grunted as they began struggling against his hold. That's up to me, Kara. The child stood up, still slightly unsteady. Slightly unsteady, but eyes glinting with determination. After everything, I didn't think I would ever have a chance. I don't deserve it, but I'll do anything to try to. Sans grinned, a bit more genuine than he'd be able to manage for quite some time. That's the most he'd ever heard Frisk say it all at once. And wow, just hearing Frisk's voice free of eerie, foreboding overtones was more of a relief than he had expected. Okay, than he had expected. They could still be saved, even if Kara was too far gone. Frisk could still be the same kid that he'd watch over and welcomed into his family all those resets ago, who he'd taken as to seeing as another younger sibling. Anything? Anything? Frisk nodded, resolute. Reset. That was apparently one of the few things neither broken nor whole human had expected. Wait, what? You want me to reset, Sans? Oh, wait. Now that I think about it, this was a genocide route. Everyone is dead. Why would he not say and ask for a reset? Kara froze as a first glance between the icon and Sans, not sure if they had heard correctly. Throw me a bone, kid. Trust me on this one. I'll keep the psycho parasite here, so you'll be the only one going back. Throw me a bone, kid. Trust me on this one. I'll keep the psycho's parasite here, so you'll be the only one going back. The only one, but Sans. He knew. For this to work, he'd have to stay behind. Hey, somebody's got to keep an eye on the thing. I guess an eye socket from a nobody like me will have to do. Nothing like bad jokes to try and lighten a desperate yet depressing situation. Desperate, wow. It always worked. Most of the time. Sometimes. Occasionally. Not very often. Frisk made an odd sound. Like like a sort of hic-coughing laugh stuck in a whimper. Sans? Trust me, kiddo. Otherwise, I'm gonna smack you into that reset button. None of us want that. A single nod, and then Frisk just stared at Sans for a few seconds, memorizing everything about him that they could. Bones, jacket, shirt, are those slippers? Or shoes? Not sure. Shorts, bones, more bones. Hey, Sans, you got a lot of bones. Yeah, I'm a skeleton, thank you. They reached a shaky hand towards reset. Kara redoubled their escape efforts, red eyes wide and frantic. Hey, you touch that button, I'm gonna kill you! Hey, before you go. Frisk paused with her hand flat on the now yellow icon. Sans could see fresh tears in her eyes. Do you think you could, maybe, tell Paps? The kid stopped him with a small smile. Sure, but I'll get you back. They were determined to. I promise. Kara screeched for them to stop. You better stop! To stop as they thrashed about as much as possible, desperate and angry and scared. No, they did not have a desk. But imagine that in like air instead. Frisk's hand slid off reset and they vanished. Sans summoned a blaster. A pair of icons remained for a heartbeat before he completely obliterated them in a blast of magic. Well, kiddo, you're gonna die. This was my plan all along. Yeah, I don't have much trust. You kinda died a lot on the pacifist run. Sending a shockwave thundering through the very essence of the void. Ripples of shadow and contrast swept past him. Somehow, a movement of everything and nothing all at once. Oh, also, this is a Harry Potter and Undertale fanfiction. Maybe it should be frightening to be standing at the center of such a maelstrom of power, at the mercy of the void, but somehow Sans felt unconcerned. No mercy. After all, it had a different target. Kara was ripped away, the shard remnants of their soul were utterly destroyed, and they died with an expression of shock in their eyes. No more fear, no more hate. Some part of them looked almost relieved. Then everything fell still. Sans was alone. He fell to his knees, exhausted. It was over. Finally. His eye socket slit, then shut. Good luck, kiddo. It wasn't really what Sirius had expected. Death, that is. There had been a moment of shock, fear, regret, and then everything went black. He had heard Harry. I've never heard Sirius at all in the movie, so I'm gonna give him my own accent. It wasn't really what Sirius had expected. Because with a name like that, you can't not joke about it, okay? He had heard Harry desperately calling for him as he fell, pulled into the void. Cool wash of magic flowed over his senses, soothing him even as he felt his soul distantly shattered. I'm gonna ask for someone to help me. Just kidding. Hold on. I need to see if they join. Alright. Even as he felt his soul distantly shattered, now he was just floating in vast nothingness. You know, dead. Woo. Yay. Celebrate good times, come on! He didn't know how long he let himself drift, and he seriously doubted that it mattered, until he eventually realized that he could actually move. Oh, hey, my arms! I have arms. Sirius couldn't see the ground he was now standing on because, as previously observed, literally everything was black. Turns out the infinite expanse of abysmal emptiness that comes after death wasn't a particularly scenic place. Fascinating. Didn't look like exploring his new surroundings would be very interesting, but there really wasn't anything else to do. It was another indeterminate amount of time before he actually found something, or rather, something found him. How did you get here? The voice was unexpected, low and threatening, coming from directly behind. He wanted to wander around, but found him unable to move at all. Died? Is that not usually how people end up in the afterlife? Whoever had that voice gave a surprised laugh and remarked, I think there'd be more people here if this was the afterlife. You make a good point, mysterious voice who has held me hostage somehow. So, where am I? I'd call it purgatory, but I'm not kidding around when I say that's not completely true. Sirius was beginning to question his sanity. Wait, were those puns? Not to be catty, but I thought they were obvious. Merlin's pants, they were! Now it was his turn to laugh. Wow! And it felt so good to laugh again after who knows how long he had spent wandering alone in silence. It took him a moment to come up with a suitable response. Laughter really is the best medicine, 'cause I'm feline better already. Whoever it was chuckled again and without missing a beat replied, Too bad goat jokes are pretty much impossible to find here in the void. The power that was deciding to keep him immobile loosened slightly as whoever it was relaxed a bit. His feet regained contact with the void ground. He decided it was high time he introduced himself. I'm serious. Nice to meet you and all, but you don't really seem like the serious sort. Sirius blinked, then grinned, then he found himself laughing again. Got it in one, whoever you are. The name's Sans. Sans the skeleton. Now shake my hand, you mother... Okay. Well, that was chapter 1. The entire last part somehow it took me 14 minutes to read this entire part 2 of chapter 1. Oh well. Anyways, this was Arcane Warlock signing